Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Dr. Tinike Temitope. I'm the director of the BEST Center, Business Entrepreneurship Skills and Technology Center of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are welcoming you this afternoon and thanking you for taking out time to be part of this launch of the e-course on gender and disability inclusion. Just briefly, this launch is going to be very short because most importantly, this is just to run participants through the e-learning course, how they can access it, why it is important for them to take this course, and why it is also very essential for each and everyone, no matter where we belong in the organization, either as an administrator or a board member, as an executive, or maybe particularly for trainers, with special focus on technical vocational education trainers, why it is important for you to have a knowledge on how to include individuals that live with disability, and most especially the female gender in our day-to-day activities, so that we can ensure the equality that we have so much yearned for in our society. Once again, I want to welcome you and say thank you for joining us. This is going to be very brief, and we hope we could make you understand why you are here and make the time worth it. So we are going to move straight to the agenda. Can we have the agenda projected, please? Briefly, we are going to have our opening prayer. Basically, we are just going to say the second stanza of the national anthem. I'm just going to say the second stanza of the national anthem, and this is going to come up soon. So we can please unmute our microphone so that we can say this together and move straight to the next item on the agenda. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh God of creation, direct and noble cause, guide
our leaders right.
help our
Help our
youth
youth to truth to know,
in love
love and honesty to grow,
and living
and
justice, praise lofty heights and
build a nation where peace and justice shall reign.
Thank you very much. So briefly, I've introduced, okay, right now we can mute ourselves so that we can hear me clearly. I've introduced myself earlier. I'm the director of the ACCI BEST Center. On this call, we have our partners and our stakeholders. Most importantly, I want to recognize the presence of the president of the chamber, Dr. Almujtaba Abubakar. Is going to give us his opening remarks, and also the second deputy president and also the managing director of the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority, Professor Adesoji Adeshugba. We have other members and executive members of the chamber here on the call. We have our consultants who have worked tirelessly on this project since 2019. Nadej is also on the call. Thank you very much for finding out time to join us. We have partners too. Their representatives are all on the call. So as many as we can take, we are going to take their remarks in the course of this launch. So now I would like to call on Professor Adesoji Adeshugba, who is the chairman of the ACCI BEST Center, to give us his welcome remarks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Professor Adesoji Adeshugba. I'm the chairman of the Governing Council of the ACCI BEST Center. I am very happy to be with you today, especially since 2019 that we started this project at the ACCI. We at ACCI BEST Center, and indeed at ACCI, have not just preached the idea of gender and disability mainstreaming, but we have we have also been practicing it. It's very important that among other activities, our support also includes training of trainers and development of a training manual for gender and disability mainstreaming with the support of local and international consultants to reach wider audience within and outside of Nigeria on gender and disability mainstreaming across boards, and ECOS was developed. Indeed, this is a very, very important aspect so that we can now reach people who will otherwise not be able to make it to our training programs. This is the first of its kind in Nigeria. Congratulations to all our partners. Congratulations to Abuja Chamber of Commerce for always leading the way, especially as it concerns gender and disability mainstreaming. The good news is that since 2019, I have also moved on to other parts of Nigerian economic development, and in my organization, Nigerian Export Processing Authority, we have also ensured that the policy is entrenched in whatever we are doing. So let me wish you all the best in your deliberation, and once again, the Chamber and the EXCO of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Tinuke.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Professor Adesoji Adesugba. Thank you for finding out time from your busy schedule to give us your welcome remarks. Thank you, sir. So quickly, we move to the next point on the agenda, which is an opening remarks from the President, Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Let me check if it's here. Okay, while we wait to get a go ahead from the President, I would like to call on Nadej to give us a brief remarks on why gender and disability inclusion. Why are we making so much noise about this? Why is the ACCI Best Center doing this? Why is this important for Nigeria? Why is this important for our society? Why is this important for our community? So Nadej is a consultant she's a gender consultant, and she has been doing this for decades. So I will leave this to you, Nadej, so that you tell us more about this and why it is important for us as an individual and an organization. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Tinuke, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak today. So I'm Nadej. I'm a gender, disability, and diversity consultant, and as part of the work I do, I design and facilitate sensitization and training on gender equality, disability inclusion, intersectionality, and that's how I came to design and implement this specific e-course together with an e-specialist from EasyLearn, Frédéric Berthelet. So I'm extremely happy to be here today with you all. As this has been a long process, and it's now finally out to you, the public, and future students. And I'm also obviously very happy to see again Tinuke and Lanre and all the others that I worked with in the past year and a half. But yeah, why do gender equality and disability inclusion matter at all? Why is that important? So I will start with figures to give you an idea of who we are talking about and the scope and the challenges that are faced by the people we are talking about. So when we speak about persons with disabilities, most of us first think about people in wheelchair or deaf people or person with visual impairments. But person with disability are person with long-term impairments, chronic illness, and that covers people with what we call visible disabilities, so physical, sensory disabilities, but it's also people with intellectual and psychosocial disabilities, so people with depression or people with Down syndrome. And now a quick try and guess. How many persons with disabilities are there in Nigeria, according to you? I'll let you a few seconds to imagine in your mind how many people we could be talking about. What is that? 2 people, 2 million people, 20 million people? And the answer is there are estimations between 3.2 and 30 million. So the last population and house census from 2006 from the government talk about 3.2 million persons with disabilities living in Nigeria. At international level, so the World Bank and the World Health Organization, which are two UN organizations, statisticians, so specialists in counting the number of persons with disability, consider that about 15% of a given population has disabilities. In the case of Nigeria, that would be about 30 million Nigerians with disabilities. So if we consider the overall, like the worldwide estimation, we're talking about 30 million people, which is a lot of people, obviously. So now we have an idea of the number of people we're talking for persons with disabilities. But what challenges do girls, women, persons with disabilities face really? And here, since we are in a vet center in the education sector, I'll take two statistics coming from the education area. When we speak of children with disability, what is about the enrollment rate, of girls and boys with disabilities in Nigeria, which is also the average for lower and middle income country? Let you think about the percentage that it might be. Is that 1 out of 2 children going to school? Is that less? Is that more? And actually, only 60% of children with disability actually go to school, to primary school. It means that the education system in Nigeria, and that is the average for lower and middle income countries, 50% of children with disabilities do not go to school, do not get a chance to have access to education. As for women and girls, what is the female illiteracy rate in Nigeria? Again, I'll give you a bit of time just to try and guess percentage. And here we have statistics from the UNDESA, so UN organization, and the office in Nigeria, which says that 70% of women and girls are actually illiterate, compared to only 44% of the general population. So here I give you striking figures, and the point was to be striking and to show you the extent of the challenges that we face that as a society, and that in particular individuals with disabilities and women and girls face in their access to education. Like as a person with disabilities in Nigeria, or as a girl or women in Nigeria, have less chance to go to school, to graduate from primary, secondary school, and even less from universities. And it means that if I don't have access to education, I don't get the chance that goes with having an education. This is true of Nigeria, and I took example for Nigeria because that's where the ECOS is launched today and where you're based, but it's true for many countries worldwide. I'm French, based in France, and women and children with disabilities also have less access. So yes, we're talking about a large share of the population who is facing exclusion and deeply rooted discrimination. And it does matter to include them and offer them the same chance as everyone for many, many reasons. The primary one, it's because it's a human rights issue. Any individual, whether you have a disability or whether your gender is female, are born with right to live their lives as everyone else. Means having an identity, going to school, making decision on your own life. Another argument in favor of inclusion, which is a bit more down to earth, is that research has shown that society and organization, which include people with diverse socioeconomic and demographic conditions, gender, disability, but also age or ethnicity, are more creative and resilient because they represent better the population. They just adapt better, like as the environment and the condition change. Inclusive mindset lead to mutual enrichment. It's because I'm different that I'm learning for you, and it's because I'm different for you that you're learning from me. And the environment is beneficial for everybody. And here I have a good example. Like, did you know that the text messages that we use on our phone every day have actually been primarily invented for deaf people? So it's because the deaf people are different that we have created like text messages as an alternative to making a phone call, and actually with not texting every day to his friends or during work every single day. So what we develop for people who might be different, who have a disability, is useful for everyone. And another argument that is coming from the Nigerian gender policy itself is that the country, Nigeria, cannot miss the contribution of half of the population. So here I mean girls and women, and what they can bring in terms of ideas, thoughts, and energy to the development of the country and the society. We cannot miss it out. So I could keep on adding arguments. They're very long list, but here I wanted to share a bit the reason, as Tinuke asked me, the reason why it's important at a personal level and at the level of society. So to conclude, the main message that I wanted to pass on today, which is also what we try to do with the course that is going to be presented to you, is that we're talking about a lot of people. Women are one out of two of the inhabitants, 50% of the population, and persons with disability are 15% of the population, and they face enormous inequalities in life. And that is the very reason why it's worth taking the course to then learn how you could do and make a difference in your everyday life. Voila. Thank you for the opportunity to share a bit of what I'm passionate about, I must admit.
Thank you very much, Nadej. That is very short and straight to the point. I think we are very fortunate and having you on this team. Since 2019, you trained the first set of 40 trainers, and we've been working on this e-course since 2020. It was very tasky, I know, and even from your hand, but you've pushed through. So we appreciate all the effort that we put into this. We can feel your passion, and we can see your work that it's really, and it's worth it, because picking up from the statistics that you just gave, if we have such huge number of people living with disabilities, then it's very important for us to create an environment that is easy for them, an environment that is accessible for them, an environment that will make life easier for each and everyone. And I think, and that is why what this course is all about, for individuals to know and to also treat them the way they should be treated, and also create platform for them to be able to do what others are doing. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything, Nadej. So we'll just move quickly to the next. We're going to get remarks from 3 people. To come up is the technical advisor to the GIZ. GIZ is one of the technical partners that puts up this course together, that we got the support from. So Plagnan has been working with us also since 2019. So Plagnan, would like to see your face, hear from you what you think and what is expected of this e-course going forward. You need to unmute. We can see you, but we can't hear you yet.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining in today. We are very happy that this particular course is finally launching. It's been a long time, but we are finally there. Yes, so Nadej has finally said most of the technical aspects of this course, but from our own side, we are very happy to have worked with the ACCI Best Center on this very important topic. The topic of inclusion is something that is very important right now. There is a lot of segregation, at the learning place, and it will be nice that we are always adapting and we change with the times to ensure that no one is left behind. We have also left out a very huge thank you to the VET Toolbox. So the course was initially supported by the VET Toolbox project, which is an EU project or a multi-partnership project between the EU, GIZ, and other like donor organizations who first supported the ACCI in development of the initial manual for in-class learning, and yes, also the implementation of the first course in-class in ACCI. Towards the pandemic, Sky took it up to see, there was a request also from ACCI, and Sky took it up to further support ACCI Best Center on, adaptation of the course to an e-model. And we are very, very happy that it has turned out great. Thank you very much, Nadej. Frederick is not on the line, but please extend our thank you to her. And also thank you very much to the ACCI Best Center. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you all. And we are hoping for the best in the coming weeks. And we hope that this course will create the change that we so wish to make. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Nadej. Also, I would like to say well done for the job. It was tasky, but finally we are here, and I'm sure it's worth it. Thank you for the support and for all the technical support that you've given to ensure that this module was effectively developed and uploaded on our e-learning platform. So next, we are going to call on Barrister Florence Marcus. Barrister Florence Marcus she's a co-founder of the Amputee Coalition of Nigeria. So we want to hear from her, from her perspective, why she thinks it's important for everyone to take part in this course. That's one of the reasons why we made this course an online course, is so that it's accessible, it's self-paced, it's free. For now, it's free. So why do you think it is important for people to know more about gender and disability inclusion based on your organization? So Barrister Florence, are you there? Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, okay, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. I want to start by commending the ACCI for this very noble initiative. It is highly commendable. You know, no one is to be left behind according to the UN principle. And for persons with disabilities, they've been left behind for a very long time. And you know that awareness is key. And before now, disability is considered, especially when it comes to charity, is synonymous to charity. But now everything has changed with the legal frameworks that are protecting the rights of persons with disabilities, especially in Nigeria, with the passage of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act 2018. Persons with disability have rights, and those rights, you know, are supposed to make the environment and everything inclusive for them. And I believe that this course will first create awareness to persons and to stakeholders, you know, to know what to do, to know that these things that we are considering as charity are no longer charity, are rights. And where there is rights and there is a breach of those rights, they are enforceable. So it is good that we have these courses in adaptable formats where others can contribute. And I believe that not only for persons with disabilities, inclusion is very pertinent in today's day. And it is good that others will also be able to understand persons with disabilities and know how to properly enforce their rights. So I look forward, you know, to these programs, even myself attending and also encouraging others who attend to this project to make the most out of it and ensure that all hands are put on deck to make the society inclusive, both for persons with disabilities and for women who have been neglected for too long. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Florence. Thank you for accepting to speak on this. As someone who has been battling a lot of challenges too, as someone that lives with disability and also have an organization for people that live with disability, so we understand what people go through. And this course, like I mentioned earlier, it's generally for everybody. It's not even really focusing on those that live with the disability. It's focusing on, most importantly, every individual, to know how we can include everyone. There should no longer be discrimination in the society, because what we get as the negativity of discrimination is quite huge than what we could ever imagine. Remembering the statistics that Judge gave earlier, we have less than 60% of people living with disabilities going through primary school. That is just primary school. Obviously, what happens to the remaining 40%? And I'm also very sure that the 60% will not all cross to secondary school. More than half of them will probably drop by at primary school. Why? Because they have one or other form of disability. This shouldn't be. We should create a platform for them to be able to have every other opportunities that everyone have. And this is what this course is pointing to point people at the right direction, things that they have to do to be able to include people living with disability in all their activities in the society. Thank you very much. So we'll quickly go to the next remarks from the representative of Inclusive Friends. This is also an organization mainly of people living with disabilities. So we'll call on their representative now to give us their remarks on why they think this is also very important, and also as a form of advocacy to the general society, so that we can have more information about this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olaomi Ifeoluwa Okukwe. I'm the Programs Officer Gender at Inclusive Friends Association. And I'm very excited that this project is brought on board. And this course is something that would really help and push out all of the necessary things that we have been talking about in our organization in Inclusive Friends. Inclusive Friends has been at the forefront championing gender and disability-based violence and seeing that there's inclusion for everybody and every person with disability, especially women and girls. As we've been talking since we started this meeting, gender and disability mainstreaming is just not a social justice question. It's something that has to do with being equitable and being sustainable. So the aspect of intersectionality cannot be overemphasized in inclusion of persons with disability, because we have different needs. And if all projects and all organizations actually factor into their project intersectionally based, it would help in pushing out the inclusion we have been talking about. At Inclusive Friends, we've been able to have all forms of inclusion, even all that cut across every cluster. And we hope that with the coming of these courses and with the fact that you said it's not only for persons with disability alone, because the general public needs to learn and know a lot of things in designing their project. Organizations need to understand the inclusion and the importance of designing their project that is actually accessible to persons with disability, especially women and girls with disability. And the fact that we would really stand on not separating gender-based violence and disability-based violence. So I want to commend this organization for bringing this course, and we hope with the help of everyone, Inclusive Friends is actually pledging to make sure we put the word out that everybody goes on that your platform and study and see what you have. I have actually gone on it and it's actually very informative. So we would put the call out, to put the word out for every person with disability to go and study and learn about the courses that are there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olaomi from Inclusive Friends Association. Thank you for that. I'm putting it forward that your association is going to do whatever it takes to also advocate. This is what we really look forward to. We want people to be able to be aware of this course, we want people to be able to take it and to also learn. And after learning, and also put into practice what they have learned, so that we could make the environment, the society more inclusive for people living with disabilities, and also for women, so that there won't be any form of discrimination. Thank you very much. So we quickly move to the next agenda. Now, the launch of the course. At this particular point, we are just going to play the introductory video. So a video is going to come up now, any moment from now. The video is going to come up, and it's just an introductory video into the course. So let's just watch along and listen. Thank you very much. Now, the launch of the course.
Hey, Tony,
At this
look,
particular point, we are just
I am
going
building
to
the
play
accessibility ramp we talked about.
The introductory video. So the video is going to come up now.
We don't
Any
hear the
moment from
teacher
now, the video is
introducing
going
the
to come up,
course.
and
It's your
it's just
turn.
an introductory
Silence.
video into the course.
Rolling.
So let's just watch
Thanks,
along
Tolu.
and listen. Thank you very much.
When I showed up for my first day of work here at the Business, Entrepreneurship Skills and Technology Best Center of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry,
talked about.
I mistakenly thought that all thickness of jobs, women and persons of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and so we can create an inclusive world all together. Let me introduce myself first. I am Tinuke Temitope. I am the tutor for this online course on gender equality and disability inclusion. But you must be wondering, what is this online course about? How do I complete it? I am going to tell you all about it. So we can create the learning objectives, the pedagogical pathway and course structure, the duration, and how to get the certificate of completion on gender equality and disability inclusion. But you must be wondering, at the Best Center, what is this online course we about? Have decisively designed an action-oriented course. The objective of this is to equip you with knowledge and skills to adopt an inclusive approach to your daily role and tasks. For this purpose, we have designed a mix of practical exercises such as videos, comics, quizzes, fill in the blanks, virtual tour with hotspots, checklists, prepare your own action plan, post examples and suggestions in the forum, and chat with your fellow learners. For this purpose, we have designed the course is designed following a progressive pedagogical approach. It is structured around two successive pathways. All participants will follow the 5 lessons of the common pathway. This will give you a solid basis to grant inclusive actions. You must successfully complete the common pathway before starting one of the 3 profile-based pathways. There are 2 lessons to take in each profile-based pathway. You will be assigned to your profile-based pathway by taking an orientation quiz. The profile-based pathway is the motivated teacher. It's for teachers, instructors, trainers, project managers, and technical consultants. There are 2 lessons in each profile-based pathway. There are sometimes too much. The profile-based pathway gives the role model. It's for board members.
Apologies for the technical glitches. I'm also experiencing the same thing here. I see that the video is echoing like 2, 3 voices at the same time. So please kindly bear with us. I'll try to share from my hand here. Hopefully it will sound better.
Hey, Tony, look, I am building the accessibility ramp we talked about.
Sorry, does this sound clearer to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, better.
We don't hear the teacher introducing the course. It's your turn. Silence. Rolling.
Thanks, Tolu. When I showed up for my first day of work here at the Business, Entrepreneurship Skills and Technology Best Center of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I mistakenly thought that all learners were all similar, that I could prepare a course and it was done once and for all. With time, I learned that learners are a diverse group with many different characteristics, and that's what this course is about. Understanding the specific needs of girls, women, and persons with different disabilities, so we can create an inclusive world all together. Let me introduce myself first. I am Tinuke Temitope. I am the tutor for this online course on gender equality and disability inclusion. But you must be wondering, what is this online course about? How do I complete it? I am going to tell you all about it. The learning objectives, the pedagogical pathway and course structure, the duration, and how to get the certificate of completion. At the Best Center, we have decisively designed an action-oriented course. The objective of this is to equip you with knowledge and skills to adopt an inclusive approach to your daily role and tasks. For this purpose, we have designed a mix of practical exercises such as videos, comics, quizzes, fill in the blanks, virtual tour with hotspots, checklist, prepare your own action plan, post examples and suggestions in the forum, and chat with your fellow learners. The course is designed following a progressive pedagogical approach. It is structured around 2 successive pathways. All participants will follow the 5 lessons of the common pathway. This will give you a solid basis to ground inclusive actions. You must successfully complete the common pathway before starting one of the 3 profile-based pathways. There are 2 lessons to take in each profile-based pathway. You will be assigned to your profile-based pathway by taking an orientation quiz. The profile-based pathway A, the motivated teacher, is for teachers, instructors, trainers, project managers, and technical consultants. They are sometimes too much. The profile-based pathway B, the role model, is for board members, directors, and senior managers, as well as for advocacy teams. The profile-based pathway C, the environment enabler, is for administrators, socials, logisticians, IT and communication, human resources, and finance staff. About the duration now. Once you register, you have 4 weeks to complete the course. The total course duration is about 12 hours, about 8 hours for the common pathway, about 3.5 hours for the profile-based pathway, and about half an hour of personal work to finalize your action plan. Finally, how do you pass the course and get your certificate of completion? 3 things to achieve. Take the quiz ending each pathways. Get the level 2 silver out of 3 of the badges. Get your action plan validated by the tutor of the course.
So to sum up, what you need to remember about the course. The course is action-oriented, so you can implement inclusive actions when you are done with it. You must complete 2 pathways and 7 lessons in total. This will take you 12 hours over 4 weeks. And you will get a certificate of completion once you have succeeded 2 quizzes, attained level 2 of the participation badges, and get your action plan validated. And it is now time to start.
Do you want to know the secret of success?
Plan your learning time ahead.
So, get your diary out and start planning.
Okay, thank you very much. So in summary, that is the process it involves in taking the course. And we've also seen the learning objectives is basically for us to be equipped with capacity and ability to be able to have inclusive mind, and our understanding that we have people around us that needs to be included in whatever we are doing. So we have a team from Ultrashot that did the recording, the studio work, the media work was done by Ultrashot, and I can tell you that they did a very fantastic job. By the time you go online to the module, you will see all the graphics, the video. You see that there is a lot of work that is put into it. So I think we have Ade from Ultrashot here. If you'd like to give a remarks, or maybe there's something you want the participants to know at the end of the next item on the agenda, you may quickly tell us something. There is anything you think on the process of developing this course that you think is worth telling the general public, then we'd like you to tell us using this platform. So quickly we will go to the next item on the agenda, which is a step-by-step process of taking the course. This is just to run us through. This is going to be very short. This is just to run us through. I know all of us these days are technology inclined, and 1 or 2 of us must have gone through an e-course one time or another, or still going to some. But this is just to take us through some of the actions that you might need when you get to the website, places you need to click, things that you might see, just to give you an heads up. And at the end of the day, by the time you get to the module, to the e-learning platform, our links are there. If there is any challenge, you can easily reach us either via WhatsApp or email or even phone call, so that we can put you through. But now I will leave it for Olanre Ario to run us through this step-by-step process in the next few minutes. Olanre, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, man. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we welcome you to this e-course launch. So I'll just take it quickly. So to start the course through any of your browser, Chrome, Firefox, just go to this URL, learn.accinigeria.com, or you can search for ACCI Learn on Google. So once you are able to access the website, so once you get to the platform, you can either, if you are coming for the first time, so you have to register. So you click register, it pops up, it comes up as a pop-up. So you input your username, your password, and your email. But to be, it's sometimes easier when you just log in through your Google account or your LinkedIn account. So you can also log in using your social profiles. Then once you are coming back after, you can just go to log in, and you can log in from there. So once you are enrolled, you get a mail informing you that you've been enrolled on the platform. Also, you see at this right-hand column, you see your name. Sometimes if you log into Google, to your Google mail, you need to change the name, so that, because when you are going to be issued a certificate, it's going to be the name that was captured from your Google account. So if you want a different, actually edit your profile so that you can change your name to what you want to be on your certificate. So the online course structure, it has, as shown in the video earlier, we have the common pathway and the profile-based pathway, depending on your roles and organization. The 3 pathways, as if you feel it might help you in becoming more inclusive and help you in delivering your objective. So we expected to be interactive, you share thoughts, you share. There are different tasks within the course that ask you to go to the forum to make some contribution, share their own contribution through the forum. Then you take the evaluation for the common pathway. After the evaluation, once you pass you have 60%, you can take it up to 5 times. If maybe at your first attempt, you couldn't get up to 60%, you can go to the other profile-based pathways. Sections takes about 8 hours, then it ends with a. So once you log into the platform, courses, so you click the gender equality and disability course, completely, then it takes you to the profile-based pathways. But pathway first, it will ask you to complete pathway before you can actually complete the profile-based pathway, the common pathway. Then from there, once you finish a section, it asks you to assure you've completed it. There's also asks you a pop-up that comes up to be sure you are clicking it. Maybe it's an error. So if you've not clicked the complete and click the yes, the next section. So it's until you complete one section that you can move to the next section. It's after completing the first section, that's the best result, and you can move to the next section. Okay, so as described in the video, the role model and the environmental. So these are some categories of people going to more and more profiles. So we're encouraged to take as much of profiles, and they are shorter than the common pathway. They're like 3 hours. Okay, so this is the profile-based pathway A. Pathway B is the role model, and the environment enabler is the pathway C. Okay. Just 2 sections of 3 hours each for the profile-based pathways. So there are some interactive features on the in the e-course. So we have. So when you log in and you are taking the course, there are some that comes that after the course presentation, you see these are slides. So you don't just go and click complete. Maybe you've read only the first slide and you just click complete. So like this particular slide, it has about 13 slides. So you click the next slide, next slide. So once you get to the end, I've gotten to the end of the slide, and it gives you like a summary of the entire slide. So let's take note of reading through all the slides before we move to the next, before clicking complete and moving to the next session. So we also have the cards and some clicks that you might need to. This content shows that is the content on the on cards. Some of it, this is like a plus. You click the plus. Then the next one, you click the plus, it shows. Some are cards. When you click it, it's. So we also have this drag and drop. This is very common with the quizzes. So you have it's also within slides. So for example, maybe you've gotten to slides a quiz. It's usually in this drag and drop format, where you need to drag the right word to the right column. So once you drag it, it takes you to the right column. Just put it, if you put it in the wrong column, it's going to show you an error. Okay, yes, when you put it in the wrong column, by the time you click which one you got right and those you got wrong. So to get your certificate, you pass the course, the evaluation for both common pathway and the profile-based pathway you are taking. I think the silver badge. This silver badge is attend their communications on the platforms, like from the forum. Then you finalize the action plan. The action plan is actually a Word document that you download in the second section. Start filling. So once you finish a section, you are required to go to your action plan to fill in what you will do after. So it's once it's supposed to be, when you finish the course, you should have a working document with which you can go out and start implementing your goals and objectives.
To complete the online course.
Lastly, if you finish the course, you can go to the profile section to check your certificates and download your certificates. Thank you.
Attend this level 2 silver.
So if you have any questions, we can send to us via email on bestcenter@scnigeria.com, or you contact the number. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry. Though I think your network is a little bit poor because some of your voices were your voice was skipping. But I think the information is passed across. Please, if you have any question on this now, you can raise up your hand or send a message on the chat box. But basically, I just want to spotlight that the course, I can say, is like in 4 modules. The first module is what we call the common pathway. The common pathway is for everybody. You have to go through that. It's common to everybody. Then we now have 3 different pathways. We have the profile A, we have the profile B, we have the profile C. So the profile A is what we call the motivated teacher, which is focused on trainers, instructors, project managers, technical consultants. Then we have the profile B, which is the role model. Do you have anyone looking up to you? Are you a senior level manager? Are you a board member? Are you an executive? Do you have a subordinate that look up to you? So definitely you are a role model. So this pathway is also very good for you. Then we have the profile pathway C, which is the environment enabler for administrators, communicators, human resources officers. So what this means is that you look at that which best fits your profile. After completing the common pathway, then you can even go through the 3 profile-based pathways. Yes, you can go through the 3. But before you could assess any of them, you must have completed the common pathway and passed with at least 60%. So you will also be assessed. There are quizzes along the line in the course. There are quizzes, there are exercises. Then there's going to be final exam for the common pathway before you can actually move to any of the profile-based pathway that best suits you, or you want to go through all the pathways so that you can get more knowledge. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, if there is anyone that has a question on this, based on what we have presented now, we can quickly address that. Well, if we are not ready to give your question now, you can also send us email. You can contact us at the ACCI Best Center. You can contact us via our any of our social media handles. We have also the phone number that was displayed earlier, could also be contacted. So I'll just leave the floor open for 30 seconds. If there is anyone that have a question, if you want to speak, you can just unmute yourself and speak. But if you want your question to be, if you want to type, you can type in the chat box too. Okay, so let me assume our questions are going to come through the email, or you want to contact us directly. But most importantly, We want everyone to take part in this course. We want you to go out there as an ambassador to tell others to take part in this course. If you look at the 3 profile-based part, you will see that nobody is left out. Everyone has a space there. So please, let's go out there and ensure that everyone take part in this, and they also take advantage of what it's in that e-course for everyone to learn and make the society more inclusive. So now we are closing gradually. Ade from Ultrashot, would you like to tell us anything based on your experiences in developing the e-course module for the media content?
Hi, Tinuke.
Hi, yeah, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Well, I didn't expect this though. I think it was a great experience for us at Ultrashot producing the media content. It was something unusual for us because they had to, having to work with consultants in the accessibility space and even working with a sign language interpreter, having to. It was a whole different ballgame for us and a learning experience for us, learning things about mainstream gender equality and inclusiveness, and also it's very interesting. And I encourage everyone who will participate in this to go ahead, because the content, the e-course modules they're very rich in content, and it's a great content for learning. So I will encourage everyone to take their time, 2 hours per week or however it takes, to go through the different pathways and participate and get to learn things about this, about the content, about the gender inclusivity, the skills, and also what mainstreaming is all about, what gender. I think I keep saying gender because I think that was one of the core highlights of the whole content. So I will encourage everyone, and I'm also appreciation to GIZ Sky for giving us the opportunity to be a collaborator in this, in developing this content, and it's a very great one on our portfolio. And thanks to the ACCIBS team as well, Dr. Tinuke, Larry, and every other person that were involved in this, and to my team too. I think some of them are not here, many of them are not here actually. It took us months and months of meetings and all, and even studio recording and studio post-production, working on this, the sign language interpreter, and also thank you so much for this opportunity to develop this course. And I encourage every participant or every trainee who's going to participate in this to enjoy the module. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak as well.
Thank you, Ade. Thank you, and our regards to your team. It was also very stressful, back and forth, going to the studio, the editing, but it's worth it. And by the time we have a lot of people going through this course and affecting our society, then all the stress and back and forth will be well more worth it. So before I pass the mantle to my Director General, Ms. Victoria Akai, for her remarks, I would like to thank everyone for coming, and most importantly, I want us to take this course because of the importance to us and our society. And I want us to also be an advocate to tell others to take this course. The platform is open, is ready. And in fact, we want to start having rush on the platform for as many as possible people, as an individual and organization. So we count on your support as usual, because we know each and every one of us are always there to support the Best Center. So now I will call on the Director General of ACCI, Ms. Victoria Akai, for her remarks. You have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Tino. A big thank you to the Sky GIZ team that is here. I think I came in a little bit late, so please permit me to ride on the already established protocols. Today is a special and today is an especially incredible one for us, as it demonstrates the realization of our commitment to cascading and empowering relevant stakeholders on the best approaches to ensure a gender and disability mainstreaming. We also want to really thank the VET Toolbox project and the GIZ Sky project for the success and implementation of this program, amongst other programs, and for cascading into all of the stakeholders that were able to benefit from this program. Let me tell you a little bit about the chamber structure. So ACCI runs its programs through 4 centers: the Business Entrepreneurship Skills and Technology Center, which is also hosting this GIZ Sky project and the implementation of this Gender and Disability Inclusion Program. We have the Abuja Trade Center, which caters for all our business networking activities, including the trade fair and all various other expos. We also have the Policy Advocacy Center, which through which we advocate for business-friendly policies for our members and for the general public. We have the Dispute Resolution Center, which has a cocktail of alternative dispute resolution processes for the business community and indeed for the general public. The BEST Center, I would like to speak a little bit more about it, serves as a training arm for the chamber with the objective of developing the capacity of the business community by running training programs such as this. The center has, in the past few years, collaborated with international organizations, ministries, departments, and agencies of government and non-governmental institutions, corporate bodies, and other relevant stakeholders, including the National Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, other business services organizations, various chambers of commerce within Nigeria and worldwide. And the center delivers training programs and geared towards developing the capacity, not only of the business community, like I had said, but sometimes even for the general public. So some categories of trainings and programs that the center has carried out includes leadership and management trainings, business and entrepreneurship, gemology and gender disability inclusion, hospitality, ICT vocational skills, technical vocational skills, export readiness. The center is easily open to collaboration with interested parties. So because I know there are quite a number of stakeholders here, if you are interested in collaborating with us in any form of training that will benefit the business community, or maybe you just think the general public around us can benefit from it, please, you can approach the director of the training center, or you can approach my office and let's see how we can collaborate on it. The essence of the chamber is actually to build the capacity and to work for the interest of the business community generally. It is worthy of note that out of the 75 entries in 2019 at the World Chambers Congress, the BEST Center was adjudged to be one of the best 5 chambers of commerce on education projects. And at that World Chambers Congress, they gave us an award of the top best 5 training centers. Why we're saying this is we want you to come and let us continue to keep that position together with you and be recognized worldwide as well. Now, as part of its operations, the ACCI BEST Center noticed that fewer undertakings are led by more disadvantaged Nigerians, such as girls, women, and persons with disabilities. This led to the development of this course module to better equip every stakeholder to conform to international best practices in promoting gender equality and inclusion for persons with disabilities. This has greatly shaped our approach at the training center and led to ensuring gender and disability inclusion in various training activities at the center. It actually also informed some of our decisions, the way we build our facility, although we haven't gotten there, but we have included it in our planning. And we have faced the implementation of these programs so that our entire facility, not only the training center, but whenever we're having activities like trainings and expos, that everyone is able to comfortably participate. Following the designation of the center by the European Union as a pioneer center for training on gender and disability, inclusive, technical, vocational, and education training, TVET, in 2009, the center has cascaded the training to reach over 30 TVET institutions and organizations through planning of training of trainers programs. Now, the objective of the e-course. The development of this e-course was started in January 2021 and is part of the post-COVID response of the Chamber to reach more stakeholders with the aid of technology. The e-course of Gender and Disability Inclusion is hosted by the ACCI Learn, the e-learning platform of the Chamber. The course was developed by the ACCI Best Center team with inputs and expertise from both local and international consultants, which through the support of the VET Toolbox. And I can see Nadesh here. Nadesh, it's really good to meet you again. Thank you so much for the efforts and the commitments to ensuring that this happened, this online course happened. We're so grateful. The e-course focuses on international best practices in promoting gender parity and mainstreaming disability in every sector. The course starts with a common pathway, followed by a profile-based pathway, like Mr. Larry had put us through. And this depends on the role of each individual in an organization. So finally, I would like to appreciate the immense support of the European Union, the British Council, the GIZ Sky program, the FAKT Consulting, Ultrashot, and every stakeholder that has contributed to the development of this course. We applied for this course once and they approved it and they followed it through until now. We're really so grateful. Thank you all for taking time out of your schedule to be part of this e-course launch and for your commitment to this e-course training module. And I encourage you to take the course, take the lessons, even as individuals, whether your institutions ask you to take it or not, take it. Take gender and disability inclusion seriously. In fact, I say generally, take general social inclusion issues seriously. Make sure that our organizations have a balance. Thank you so much again for listening, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, DG. And that has brought us to the end of the e-launch. And the module is already on our ACCI Best website. If you go through learn.accinigeria.com, you can access it. If you go through www.accinigeria.com, go to Best Center, you can access it. If you go straight to www.accibestcenter.com, you can also access it. So we'll also be sharing it intermittently on our platforms and also on our social media handles and also via email. And for those of you that does not receive emails from us, we will appreciate if you can quickly drop your email address on the chat box so that we can get it and also include you on our mailing list. So, and this has brought us to the end of the e-launch. We'll leave the platform open for the next 5 minutes so that for those that are dropping their message, their email addresses could be copied out. And if you still have any question, you can still drop it so that we can quickly address to it. But officially, we declare the launch closed and we say thank you for participating, and we look forward to your participation, for you taking the course and also telling others and having organizations take the course so that we can have a better society for women and those living with disabilities. From all of us at the Best Center, thank you for participating. See you next time.